anything from discussion of kochia to pre-emerge products to the grain market analysis on the Canadian side of things and all the rest of it and whatnot. So you're welcome to hop onto that as you see fit and that. But what I'm going to do is I'll just get started and we'll go through this new program that we just got set up for this week. And just a couple of little pointers other than that. One thing I wanted to bring up was I've been following this guy for half a dozen years. His name's David Lee, but it's XI something or other is his real name. But anyway, he's really sharp and keeps on top of the global chemistry of the world and all the rest of it. And so what's going on with David is there's a bit of a shortage coming up on the bromine, which is a key ingredient for dicot. And when you take a look at the trajectory of it on where she's going to go, we're looking at 10.2% annual growth rate on the use of bromine. Now, bromine's used for a bunch of different things, right? And that, but anyway, his take of it was relating to the S&Ds on it, and we are at historical lows on dicot as a finished good, is to maybe give some thought to getting that stuff dialed in, whether you buy it from me or somebody else or whatever, just to give you a bit of a vibe. I'll talked a little bit about that towards the end, but just that was the news tip of the day. There's lots of other news tips, but this was relating to some of you directly. So with that, we're starting to grow up as a business, and I talked with Scotiabank last summer. I was doing a contract for a company called Sharda, and just wondered how things would work. And we needed a P&L and some other things, like some things underneath our feet. And we've got our last quarter of the year-end done. And they took a look at the numbers. They took a look at our operating and business plan and how things are functioning. And they said, yeah, they put their hand up and they want to be a partner with us on providing an input system for you. So some of you guys may or may not be aware of the yield more financing thing, but it's pretty straightforward and simple. And I'm just going to take just a couple minutes just to run through that quickly for you. And if anybody after the fact wants to know any more about it, you can just shoot me a text or whatever, and happy to go through that more. So the person's name that's on the bottom of this, for those of you that can see, that have the screen and haven't dialed in, Eleni, she runs that yield more program for Scotia. I wasn't sure on how this all worked, but FCC has been a dominant player, and we got to have a couple years under our belt for FCC to kind of do stuff with us it's how it seems so far. But Bank of Montreal was always the number one bank, and then in just the last little while, Scotiabank has replaced them as the number one bank to do business with. I don't know if anybody deals with Scotia, has a good taste, bad taste in them, but anyway, they have a focus on ag and a simplified system for guys having inputs. And so they give me this here that, again, the idea is it's supposed to make things fairly simple for you. And it's a revolving LOC. You can borrow up to 18 months. And the calendar starts from September 1st until August 31st. So right now, we're sitting April 10th. So anything that you buy today would drop into the April 10th to the August 31st timeline. And if you want to hold off making any payments on stuff, you have the elective of waiting until February 28th for that. And again, it's a fairly simple process. Unsecured is 50 grand. And they don't need your financials for up to $500,000. Some restrictions apply, of course, and all that. They do take a GSA on stuff from 50 grand to 200 and 200 to whatever. And then again, there's those dates of February 28th of 26. If I'm going too quick or anybody has any questions, just speak up, please. The process is pretty simple. There's a 2-page app. they email you the stuff. We get an email saying that you want things on the go. You can let us know and we can initiate that. Jackie's the administrator of that stuff, and you'll get notification on on approval and all that stuff as soon as it's done, and then away we go. The rates are, if you get a line of credit for underneath 200 grand, it is prime, which is today 4.95 plus 2.95, which is 7.9% all in. But if you do an application for over 200 grand, it's prime plus 1.95, which is 6.9%. So you got your LOC for 200. You don't need to spend that much. It's just that you got approved for that. It's just less hassle for them. They want to obviously have you as much as you need, and not have a governor on it. And if you do the 200K with us and you end up putting 50 on it, well, you still get that better rate and stuff. And then the other thing too is it's cumulative. So let's say you got 100 grand at another outfit, and you want to add something with us at iFarm. You do that, that takes you to the 200 number. So they'll add them together, you get the better rate. And then also, if you happen to have excess credit, or there's some place you're not dealing with no more, that you would like to just move some credit over to us and stuff, you can just phone and let them know, and they'll do that kind of thing for you. So that's the skinny on that one. The referral form for ag reps that are on the line, it's really simple. Basically, you need to know if you're a farm, proprietorship, self-proprietorship, corp, partnership, or whatever, a picture ID of some sorts, to have just that we know that who's who. They got to do this FinTrack stuff nowadays, just in case of money laundering and all the rest of it. And then that's our piece of it, is getting that. And then what happens is the information goes to Scotia. We have nothing to do with seeing what's what. We have nothing to do with approval or whatever. We just get the feedback that it's done and they're finished off, and then we just see that it's set up for you and stuff like that. So that's that. They've got a kind of a little sales sheet thing that we'll send out to you guys, so you'll have that if you want it. Just kind of explains the things better than I did just now. So what we decided to do, just given how the markets are going and all this stuff, we wanted to provide an opportunity for folks to decide when they want to sell the grain, not be compelled to sell the grain earlier than they want to. But this way, you can go ahead. We have an interest-free program. We've built that into our suggested price. So the price is the price. No interest will be charged on your accounts, but we pay for that monthly for you up until Feb 28th when it's due. But your price that you pay for the stuff right now is going to be the price that you pay for it at the end of the day. Again, the main reason is it gives you the flex to sell the grain whenever that you want to and all the rest of it. And we just think that you getting a flat price is going to be a peace of mind for you, so you know what it is, and that's the end of it. So you have the choice of using it or not. And in the event that you want to set up on your YMF program, and it's just a simple thing, you don't need to worry about wire transfers or e-transfers or writing checks and all the rest of it. We'll still consider it a cash deal. So you get the cash price, which will be different than that extended price, obviously. And then you guys just pay it off whenever you want, when it works for you, if you happen to have cash flow coming in or whatever you want to deal with. But just for doing ease of business, you can just say, yeah, put it on the YMF and send it out, and away we go. Hey, so that's how that works. And so I just made a couple of examples. I'll just pick out a few products here, but on the side there, I gave an example of, let's say you use full rate of carfentrazone, the full liter equivalent of glyphosate, a 540, full rate 40 acre rate of clethodim, full rate of glufosinate. Well, full rate would be, this is 1.35 rate, the surfactant stuff with it, and our Proline equivalent, which is $11 if you want, and then diquat free pre-harvesting, it's $5.58. So it'd be like $38 an acre all in for all that stuff. And if you decide you don't want to worry about some of this stuff and you don't think the crop's good enough, it don't need the Proline, and you're not gonna, you maybe don't want to throw the dicot on it, we'll just knock $16 off of that number. So that takes it to like 20 or something. But so in terms of your cost per acre on stuff, as an example, like my price right now is $5.08 a liter cash on glyphosate, which is $3.39 an acre. Well, it's like $5.49 a liter, all in interest and all that stuff, carrying it till next February. So it's $3.66. So you're looking at like whatever that spread is per acre. Not a huge carry, but again, if you got your cash all set up and all the rest of it, so be it. Same thing with fungicides. If you decide you wanted to get that in place, it's $10.50 versus $11.30. But again, we went with pretty aggressive pricing this year. We really want to build our base and honor, and do the best we can for guys as we're building our business. And if there's a portion of your business that you think warrants it, we would love an opportunity, if nothing else, to shoot you a quote on it. And if it's the right number for you and all that stuff, if you're comfortable, that's great. And if you've used it for better deal somewhere else, well, you're welcome for that too. But whatever's best for you guys. But again, I just wanted to give you some examples of how that could work out. And then I did the same thing on wheat. And I'm sorry you can't see none of that stuff, but we done the same thing with the other things. So I used, if you put things on the fall program and you decided to use dicamba with your burn off, and then we do cladinifop, which is your cheaper grass spray. And then we have a really good price, which is flucarbazone, which is fluroxapyr and cladinifop and refined. So that's basically, you got your Attain and you've got your Lontrell and the refined. It's like $7.50 an acre. You may or may not, and it comes in modules. It's a 960 acre pack. So if you decide you don't want the clopyralid to be used in that, it still comes in a separate like 80 liter drum, and you keep that stuff and use that for something else if you want to. Just got to be mindful of your cropping restrictions. But anyway, you use that stuff with your MCPA. It's like $21 for that. If you decide you want to do seed treatment, we've got the equivalent of the Raxel Pro. It's called that Lixar. A lot of you guys have maybe used that. And then our Prothiotab at $9.50 an acre. That's again the all-in interest and everything price. Lambda-Cy, which is your Matador equivalent, it's about $4.50. And then we've got the Desis equivalent as well. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a idea, but we've got, I don't know, 40 products or something like that. So we can cover most of the bases. We also have the axial equivalent and axial extreme equivalent generic stuff. So that's a bit of a skinny on that stuff. And hit me back if you want to know more. And that's it. So with that, I'm going to stop recording. Any questions on anything yet? Perfect. I'll just shut this off. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, say they want to buy now, like end of April, when is the first payment due, or when does the interest kick in?
Yeah, so how that works is interest is compounded, like it's a daily interest. But like I figured it out, like that 6.8% annual interest payment would not be due if you want to be on our program. We'll cover the interest and stuff, so it's built into the price or whatnot. If you want to do it just on the put it on and start and pay for it whenever you want. You don't want to be part of no programming and stuff. It's a daily interest, but like 6.8% compounded daily works out to 6.8 something or other. Like it's not a huge number, 6.9, I'm sorry. It's like 6.96 or something like that on a monthly basis when you do all the calculation out, Henri, but divided by 12. So it'd be a fraction of that because that's an annual rate. So you just figure that out, divide that by 365, I guess. And that would give you your daily on that. And then how this will work, like Jackie's going to have access to all of the accounts underneath us. And so at any time anybody wants to know, hey, where am I sitting with this here? And she can look it up and let you know and stuff and send you a report on your stuff. And we'll have obviously all your other records and stuff if you bought stuff. But does that answer that proper for you, Henri? Okay, cool. Yeah. And I'm around if there's anybody wants to know more about that stuff, but we're looking forward to seeing that, and we're happy to partner with BNS on that. So I'll stop recording.